bad news. They work to let us get to the basket very much, but to shoot it in enough, and we're going to have to guard them for sustained periods of time. So, with the exception of the last few minutes, disappointed they got so many threes off. They made so many threes. That's the most anybody's gotten against us. And at the same time, we played good enough to get out and run. The 8 guys in that rotation, the bench was terrific for us. How they played, how they got us organized, and every win's a good win, and we're pleased to be 6-0 at this time before the ACC Big Ten Challenge.
Ethan?
John, obviously a small sample size early in the season, but Isaiah's shooting over 50% from three right now. What's been behind that improvement?
Right, he's really worked hard. Number one, stayed both of the terms this summer and worked on it. That last year, what was happening was he wasn't consistent with his footwork and the arc on his shot. Down the stretch last year, you remember he couldn't make many shots, and thank goodness Duncan started making them at that time. So he's really worked on. You see much more arch on the shot, and occasionally, frequently, I should say, you see really good rotation.
Jordan mentioned that over the summer you would work with him on with Isaiah on his shot. Was that what
yeah,
it was?
Yeah, in the times that we're allowed to work with him, we got elevated to 4 hours a week. So if you take 8 hours, that was 32 hours that we could work with him on the side, just to get him more arc. And we have these new arch finders in the gym up on the ceiling, the Noah's Arc it's called, and it tells them exactly the plane of their arc, and it really helps them get to a sweet spot. And he might have been in what I don't know what the percentage was last year, probably 41, 40, and now he's at a good 48, 49, which is really healthy, good arc.
Jay?
John, first couple home games, your team was still kind of finding its footing against Norfolk State and Holy Cross. Tonight, they shoot almost 50% from the floor. How important was it to have that strong shooting performance tonight?
You wonder when we went out to Villanova and all of a sudden we're making them from all over, and we say, why did we do this at home? Because we had similar shots. I see it, and it's a slow trend of us being more comfortable. What's a good shot in games? What's my shot in games? What's a winning type of shot look like? And there's some doubt there sometimes, and we took very few bad ones today. So it is good that we can just shoot, and people are growing. You're not going to see all of a sudden a 30% shooter become a 50% shooter. But as I told you before, if you get a 30% shooter, just make 8 more threes over the year with the same number of shot, all of a sudden you get a 38% shooter. So we are we're working on it every day, and I'm confident over the long haul we'll have 5 shooters out there all the time.
And then second half, we saw you roll out a rotation of X, Eli, David, and then Iggy and Isaiah were both on the floor.
I was patching that with you. I just wanted David to have minutes in the event we need them, and we got to get him and Brandon comfortable on the court. They haven't been as comfortable as they'd like to be. We got to get them comfortable on the court, and you got to let them play there.
Right in the middle with Orion.
Aside from the shooting, what's impressed you the most about Isaiah this year?
His IQ for the game, he's really picked up a lot offensively, and he's playing the 3, the 4, and the 5 for us. So he's got to know all those assignments and all the ball screen coverages and when he's off the ball. I think his basketball IQ is really, it came in as a very bright kid, great grades, and really has a very good perspective on life. And now you put him into a game, and he's a great coach on the floor for our younger guys as well.
How did you improve that IQ at basketball?
How would he improve it?
Yeah,
I think
how
he
did you
studies
help
the game, and when our film sessions, we're asking him to do a lot, but he's starting to understand it. When I see him pushing other people to do things, right, of just, no, you should have done this, or meeting with him, I know he's understanding. When you become a teacher, it shows you're a really good student.
Right in the back was Zach.
John, you said you're pleased that you're 6-0, and there's things you like.
Yeah.
I guess what sort of things do you really feel good about heading into next week's Big Ten ACC Challenge? And is there anything that you're looking
And
at?
the Big Ten openers. I just still think right now the ball doesn't move the way it needs to move, and that everybody's trying to sort this thing out. Wait a minute, I've been a hunter all my life, and now it's my turn to hunt all the time. And when you got 5 hunters out there, that doesn't work very good. We have all people that are looking to hunt but are ready to share the ball very, very quickly if we're going to score. And then turn around defensively, just hunkered. That's our only hope, is that we can be consistent with our defense, making sure that that team getting that many threes today, that should not have happened today. And we were just a step late on defense, and we got to make sure that doesn't happen Wednesday, or Saturday, or the following Tuesday, or the following Saturday.
Is there things that you feel good about?
As I said before, I think that we're starting to develop a pretty good rotation, that everybody sort of knows their role. I think we're starting to shoot the ball better. John Teskey getting 12 rebounds is just a big, big thing. There's too many times that we've seen him a 50-50 ball and somebody else gets it that's smaller. And we've really challenged him this week. So that's been really good for us to have a guy to go in and get a ball that's up in the air above the rim like he did today. Because then I think he can really outlet really well and get us into our break even better.
James?
John, I remember around this same time last season, heading into the Big Ten ACC Challenge, the team was okay at that point last season. I guess, do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I think we certainly caught some teams that are rebuilding. Villanova, George Washington, and Providence are all lost some pretty key players, as we did. And now we go in, I think we're okay. I don't think we're, this juggernaut, right? I think that we're okay. And we're gonna keep growing, and no matter what happens next week, we're just gonna keep growing and try to get better. And that's who we are. We had a lot of things we have to get done. We don't have that type of experience yet to just say, okay, watch out, here comes Michigan, right? But it's the more every day we got more experience, we got more video, so we can go forward.
And then heading into the season, you said the offense would be a work in progress. I guess after these last 4 games,
Yeah.
you have a better grasp of
Yeah, you know what I've been caught with, because we've been out in front. I think Jim probably runs into this too. We got a lot of stuff in, but when we get out by 25, we don't want to run that stuff. We don't want it on video. And so we have been very choppy once we get these leads. And I guess that would be on mine, but I'm not saying, hey, let's show North Carolina this play, right? So that's what happens a little bit at this time when people would wonder, well, they're not doing anything. Well, there's a purpose to it. We're not trying to show too much. And then we want to be versatile so we can adapt any way we can.
Coach, I think that's going to do it.
Okay, thanks.